One thing I like about him is he's very patient and he has real good reflexes. I noticed that he moves his head before he throws any punch, and he moves his head after. He didn't move his head when he fought against Louis Taylor. Louis ended up knocking him out in 33 seconds. Okay, welcome back. We have another prediction video. First of all, make sure y'all like and subscribe. UFC Fight Night Paris. We have Abusupiyan Magomedov versus Dustin Stoltzfus. The first fighter is Abusupiyan Magomedov. I don't get too excited with a lot of these guys making their UFC debut. A lot of these guys, they look like world beaters outside the UFC, but as soon as they step foot inside the UFC, they typically lose and lose bad. But this guy, Abusupiyan Magomedov, he's on a different level. I'm seeing a lot of consistency with Abus. He's beating guys outside the UFC. He's making it look fairly easy. I like his movement. I like his athleticism. He switches stances, so he's very unpredictable. His opponent doesn't know where his attacks are going to come from. He throws a bunch of kicks and a bunch of knees, and that's the thing. He's 24-4, and out of his 24 wins, he has 13 knockouts and he has 6 submissions. And one thing that surprised me about Abus is the fact that he first started training in Germany, but he's a Dagestanian. And he said when he was younger, he wanted to go to the Olympics as a wrestler, but he wasn't able to secure the documentation required to be recognized as a German citizen. And that's why he decided to transition to MMA. But he makes fights look easy. One thing I like about him is he's very patient and he has real good reflexes. I noticed that he moves his head before he throws any punch, and he moves his head after. He didn't move his head when he fought against Louis Taylor. Louis ended up knocking him out in 33 seconds. When you look at Louis' record, Louis Taylor is 18-4. So out of his last 13 fights, he only lost once, and it was to David Branch. So Louis Taylor is not a bad fighter to lose to. But at the same time, it's not the best look for Abus because he's primarily a striker. So for him to get knocked out, there were questions about how good is his striking. But that's the only time he ever been knocked out. And if you go look at his losses, his prior loss was in 2015, and the loss before that was in 2013. So he's really been on a tear. So he's lost one fight in his last 13 fights. But I love his movement. I love his footwork. I love he switched stances. He's unpredictable. And questions I had about him was his takedown defense in the UFC, because guys in the UFC, they're going to be looking forward to take him down. He grew up in Dagestan, so wrestling is not something that he's foreign to. Also, when Abus fought against Abusupiyan, he was able to show that he has really good wrestling and takedowns. I love that performance because he mixed it up on C, and he was able to take C down multiple times. That was good to see because he was able to show that he also has a wrestling in his arsenal. His opponent is Dustin Stoltzfus. Dustin is 14-4. He has 2 knockouts, but he's known for being a durable, basic, striking, opportunist wrestler who's looking to get the fight to the ground. Even though he has 5 submissions, he doesn't have any submissions in the UFC. But he breaks his opponents down with his takedowns. He showed it in his last fight against Dwight Grant. Dwight Grant had success in the first round, but he got taken down in the second and the third round by Dustin. And to me, it looked like Dwight still won the fight. Dustin is real good at taking over fights when his opponents start to slow down. I'm not too high on Dustin. I think he's overrated. Like I said, in the UFC, Dustin, he's 1-3. His one comes against Dwight Grant, and I don't think he won the fight. But he took over in the second and the third round. It looked like he was doing a little bit more than Dwight, so I can argue why the judges gave him the fight, but it looked like Dwight actually won the fight. And before that, he got submitted by Gerald Mearshart. Before that, he got submitted by Rodolfo. And before that, he lost a decision to Kyle Dawkins. And that's the thing. If Dustin can't get the takedowns, can he win? I don't think so. And then prior to that, on the Contender Series, Dustin fought against Joseph Pfeiffer, and he won by elbow injury. So we could be looking at 5 fights in a row in the UFC that Dustin lost. He won against Joseph Pfeiffer and Dwight Grant, but one of those fights he won by injury, and the second fight he won because Dwight didn't do enough. There was less on Dustin and more on Dwight. But I like Dustin. He has a lot of heart. He has really good cardio. I like his striking. His striking is basic. He's not a knockout artist. He's not the fastest guy, but he's very technical. I'm not too impressed with him because he's not really finishing guys in the UFC. He was able to take Dwight Grant's bat, but he couldn't finish Dwight. But I'm predicting Abus to win a 3-round decision over Dustin.